We will call to order the regular board meeting of the Board of Election Commissioners for the City of Chicago. Good morning. My name is Maricel Hernandez. I'm the chair. And with me today is Commissioner June Brown
Present.
and Commissioner William Cressy.
Also present.
Next item on the agenda is the consideration of the agenda. Are there any proposed changes? If not, we will proceed with the approval of the regular board meeting minutes of November 14th, 2023. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved by Commissioner Brown.
Seconded by Commissioner Cressy.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Motion passes, and now we will go into our Executive Director's report. Mr. Holliday?
Good morning, Madam Chair,
Good
Commissioner
morning.
Brown, and Commissioner Cressy. Early voting is set to open downtown on Thursday, February 15th at the Super Site at 191 North Clark, and our office here at 69 West Washington on the 6th floor. Early voting in all 50 wards is set to begin on Monday, March 4th. All schedules and locations are now up on the early voting webpage on our website. Vote-by-mail ballots are scheduled to begin shipping to military and overseas voter on February 2nd and to all other voters beginning on Thursday, February 8th. This week, I, along with polling place staff, we met with the Department of Justice and Equip for Equality to confirm our accessibility action plan ahead of the March 19th primary election. Polling place site surveys are nearly complete and will be updated, both our polling place list and accessibility tier list on the website by February 19th. I, along with Sandra Spirit, Assistant Director, and Kimberly Carrillo Walker, our finance manager, we had our first meeting of the year with the City of Chicago's Office of the Budget Manager to begin preparations and going over our budget. Additionally, we are expecting to get more information and a timeline in the near future concerning the board's operation at our warehouse located at 1819 West Pershing. Last week, I, along with Audrey Lewicki and Max Bever, we convened our regular meetings with our 15 language assessed organizations and institutions across the city to discuss our planned support ahead of the March 19, 2024 primary election. We gave updates, including new signage at polling place to alert voters to the presence of a bilingual poll worker, as well as signage alerting voters to the 13 different languages options on the touch screen. We also discussed working to promote the board's limited English proficiency assistance for Election Day and call additional attention to the polling places and early voting sites staffed with bilingual election judges fluent in Spanish, Chinese, Hindi, Korean, Tagalog, and Polish. Here is the sign that will be posted at each polling place and at early voting locations that would alert the voters when they're signing in of the languages that they can choose on the touchscreen. It's kind of small. We're going to have the enlarged a little bit so that the voters, it's clear to the voters of the languages that we have. So ends my report.
Any questions?
No questions. I'm happy to hear that we're planning on starting mailing out the vote-by-mail ballots on February 8th, 40 days before Election Day. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is our Assistant Executive Director, Sandra.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning, Commissioner Cressy, Commissioner Brown.
Morning.
As of this morning, the total number of vote-by-mail applications is 139,341. As the Executive Director mentioned, the mailing of the ballot to military and overseas voters will be next Friday, February 2nd. As of yesterday, there are now a total of 4,357 active election judges, and 541 of that number are high school students. There are also 704 pending applications in which staff will start assigning this week. The election coordinators approved applications is 1,131. In-person training, judge training, is scheduled to start February 3rd at Block 37. The 6th floor will be open for voter registration on Saturdays, starting January 27th and ending Saturday, February 17th. The acceptance testing of the new e-poll book equipment has started at the warehouse. And this concludes my report.
Thank you.
The space at Block 37 for training is all built out and it's ready to go?
That is correct.
Excellent. Thank you.
What were those dates again? You said the training was from what? It starts?
It will start Saturday, February, judge training, I'm sorry,
Yes.
Saturday, February 3rd.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And now we have a report from our Public Information Director, Mr. Bever.
Morning, Commissioners. Just a few updates in addition to the Executive Director's report. We are continuing to make updates to the website through the next election. Right now, we're preparing for an updated election results page and exploring different ways to display results on the homepage rather than the previous website takeover with the scrolling PDF that we have. So we're looking to get into the 21st century when it comes to our election results, and we are meeting through the next month, and we'll continue to provide updates. This is an agenda item a little bit later, but as soon as it's approved, we'll be ready to have the next big mailing in people's mailboxes. That's to all households in the city of Chicago. That's about 1.2 million voters, with information that shares how to vote by mail, as well as their closest early voting location and their assigned precinct polling place for Election Day, our household mailer. That is ready to be sent out and in people's mailboxes right at the beginning of early voting the week of March 4th. So we are a bit ahead of schedule and ready to get that out as soon as we can. And Community Services continues to table at events across the city, including today, where they have a table at Harold Washington College to register voters and recruit college students for the March election. And we're releasing a new podcast today in Hindi, hosted by our community service representative, Kimi Mehta, that speaks to the community and lets them know about their vote-by-mail options, as well as our new translation options on our website. And that is it for the communications report.
Thank you.
First of all, I'm very happy to see we have all of the early voting sites listed on the website now, all 50 of them, plus the 3 colleges that are going to have a limited college. And also happy to see we have a lot of colleges and universities that are early voting sites, so the students have no excuse. I'm just curious, on the mailer going out, will it only show the early voting site for their particular ward, or will it show other ones that might be in their area?
It will be their 2 closest, so we do whatever we can to remind people that they don't have to go to their specific ward early voting site. They can go to any early voting site that is the most convenient for them throughout the city. That's where we started listing additional sites on this mailer, as well as our voter lookup tool on the website gives people their 4 closest early voting locations. So we're continuing to get the word out about those early voting sites. Commissioner, as you mentioned, our executive director too, we've got all up on our webpage now, including links that take you directly to the map for the early voting site. And as you mentioned, we do have 3 university partners for university early voting this year. That will be March 12th, 13th, and 14th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's Chicago State University, Northeastern Illinois University, and the University of Chicago. But that is in addition to the 2 main university early voting sites, the UIC Student Center East, as well as Northeastern Illinois El Centro University. So we've got a lot of locations.
Plus, I think Truman College
And Truman
Olive Harvey
College.
College. also.
And you are correct.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
As far as the podcast lineup, you mentioned that there are going to be language translations. Are there any other podcasts lined up?
Yes, I'm working on one that's a call for election judge recruitment that I'd be working on with Community Services, and working with our community service representatives on doing a few more language podcasts. Specifically, I'm interested in releasing one in Spanish over the next couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All good stuff. We will now proceed with old business, infrastructure projects and changes in election administration, including electronic poll books and voting equipment. Any updates there?
None, but we're moving forward with the programming and the maintenance of the poll books.
Okay, thank you. Now, Mr. Lasker, legislation?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Springfield is in session right now. I've provided you with a list of bills from the legislative liaison lobbyist Derek Bleda. So we've got a number of bills that we're watching in relevance to the Open Meetings Act, the Freedom of Information Act, and the Election Code. So I'd like to encourage you to take a look at these bills and communicate with us. There's some that are great ideas. There's some that are, I think, if I may say so myself, terrible ideas. That's usually the way it is at the beginning of the session.
Okay.
But these are the ones we're monitoring. And so without wasting too much time, you've got a lot here of nice summaries prepared by Mr. Bleda to take a look at. Feel free to communicate with him or with me or Charles and Sandra, Max, on any of these
I
bills.
think we should communicate with you because I think before we need to have some kind, if there's a change that, one commissioner recommends, this should go through you because then there has to be some consensus.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah, that's great. I'm
Please.
in good touch with Derek, Mr. Bleda, and
Yeah.
happy to play that role.
And besides, we don't keep you busy enough.
No, I'm sure not at all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Next item is new business, and we'll first go to the approval of a bid award and purchase order agreement with Linden Meyer Monroe for ballot paper for the touchscreen voting machines. And this is Amanda. Hi,
Good morning,
Amanda.
Commissioners. Good morning, Chairwoman. The Procurement Office issued a small bid RFQ, request for quote, for the ballot paper for the 2024 elections. The paper will be used in the touchscreen ballot printers during the 2024 elections. The Procurement Office has reviewed, evaluated, and recommends award for the small bid ballot paper for the 2024 elections. The Procurement Office is recommending the award to Linden Meyer Monroe. The small bid was competitively bid. The award selection was based on comparative total cost, meeting the lowest bidder's requirements. In response to the small bid, the board received a total of 3 responses from the following vendors: Linden Meyer Monroe, Modern Litho, and Johnson & Quinn Inc. Linden Meyer is the apparent lowest bidder to provide the board with ballot paper for the 2024 elections. Linden Meyer has proven to be reliable, responsible with providing the board with various paper. I've attached a bid tabulation documentation supporting my recommendation to award the contract to Linden Meyer Monroe, which appears to meet all the requirements for the small bid. Please consider granting the award to the small bid request for quote ballot paper for the 2024 elections to Linden Meyer Monroe in the amount not to exceed $41,600. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, in the paper, the specifications are such so it's compatible with both our printers and the ballot readers.
Yes.
Very good, thank you.
Is there a motion to approve the purchase of ballot paper for touchscreen voting machines for the 2024 elections with Linden Meyer Monroe at a cost not to exceed $41,600?
So moved by Commissioner Cressy.
Seconded by Commissioner Brown.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is legal services agreement with Tressler LLP. Yep.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As we have discussed, we need legal representation for Cook County Court number 2024 COEL-01, and we've obtained a conflicts waiver, there being conflicts checked with no problems from Tressler LLP, and so we're requesting that legal services agreement be authorized.
Thank you. If there are no questions, is there a motion to approve a legal services agreement with Tressler LLP at the rate of $295 per hour for representation in case 2024 COEL-01?
So moved by Commissioner Brown.
Seconded by Commissioner Cressy.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Motion passes. Next item is approval of a bid award to Marquee Event Rentals for polling place furniture rental and delivery for the 2024 primary and general elections. Amanda?
Yes. Purchasing is requesting your consideration and approval of a bid award and contract to Marquee Event Rentals for furniture rental of tables and chairs for our polling place, locations, early voting site, and election day pre. The furniture rental service are for the 2024 primary and general election. During the election cycle, the board rents various sites for early voting and election day. These various sites require the board to provide furniture according to the intended use of each site. Purchasing issued a small bid for the furniture rental on January 5th, 2024. The bid was sent out to 5 vendors. Those vendors are Marquee Event Rentals, Rose Party Rental and Services, AA Rental Center, and Chicago Party Rental. In response to the IFB, the board received one bid from Marquee Event Rentals. The board has worked with Marquee Event Rentals in the past and therefore is confident that Marquee has the capacity to secure the quantities of the tables and chairs required for the 2024 general and primary elections. Marquee has confirmed their capacity to fulfill and meet the board's furniture requirements in preparation of the elections. Marquee most recently provided the board with furniture rental services for the 2023 elections. Purchasing recommends that a contract be awarded to Marquee Event Rentals for the 2024 elections in the dollar amount of not to exceed $205,361.94 per elections.
Per election.
Per election.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
And in the last election, they provided satisfactory service.
Yes, no complaints.
Because I'll tell you, just there's a polling place quite close to my house, and I observed them delivering and picking up the equipment. They were very fast and efficient. The people at the location thought they were great, so yes, let's keep going with them.
Is there a motion to authorize the executive director to execute a furniture rental and delivery contract with Marquee Event Rentals at a cost not to exceed $205,361.94 for each of the 2 elections in 2024, with a term beginning on January 23rd, 2024, and continuing through November the 15th, 2024?
So moved by Commissioner Cressy.
Seconded by Commissioner Brown.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Motion passes. Next, we have a bid award to Johnson and Quinn. Amanda,
This for the pre-household mailer.
for printing and mailing.
The procurement office has reviewed, evaluated, and recommends award for the invitation for bid printing and mailing for the March 2024 household pre-election mailing. The procurement office is recommending Johnson and the IFB was competitive. The award selection was based on comparative total cost, meeting the lowest bidder requirements. In response to the IFB, the board received a total of 10 responses from the following vendors: Johnson & Quinn, Inc., J.J. Collins Sons, Inc., Cardinal Color Group, The Envelope Connection, Inc., The Sheely Group, Liberty Creative Solutions, Inc., Fort Orange Press, Inc., Grace Printing and Mailing, No Ink, Modern Litho, and Aztec Graphics Group. Johnson & Quinn recently provided the board with ballot printing for the April 2023 runoff election. The board staff have been very satisfied with their services and I've attached the bid tabulation documentation supporting the recommendation to award the contract to Johnson & Quinn, which appears to meet all the requirements for this solicitation for bid. Please consider granting the award to Johnson & Quinn, Inc. for 56 days beginning January 23rd, 2024 through March 19th, 2024 in the amount not to exceed $62,600.
Is it $62,600 or $460?
I'm sorry, it's $62,460.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Amanda. Are there any questions?
And they've provided satisfactory service
Yes.
for us in the past.
Yes, different projects and they're
Because that's an excellent bid they've submitted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is there a motion to authorize the executive director to execute a printing and mailing contract with Johnson and Quinn for the board's pre-election household mailer for the March 2024 primary at a cost not to exceed $62,460, with a term beginning on January 23rd, 2024, and continuing through March 19th, 2024?
So moved by Commissioner Brown.
Seconded by Commissioner Cressy.
Probably moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Next, we have a legal report.
Chair, the board currently has one electoral board decision that's under judicial review at the circuit court. We are also named as nominal defendants in 3 cases that are Cook County officer electoral board matters. And then we're monitoring another 3 cases that involve the State Board of Elections up here in Cook County. The State Board is informing us of other cases downstate. And so we'll be finishing up our electoral board meeting immediately after this one.
Great. Thank you.
Excellent.
If there is no financial report, is there any request for public comment? If not, Mr. Lasker, do we have a need for executive session today?
Not today, Madam Chair.
If not, okay, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn to our next regularly scheduled board meeting.
So moved by Commissioner Cressy. Oops,
Second.
sorry about that.
No worries. Seconded by Commissioner Brown.
Probably moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Motion passes, and we are adjourned. Thank you.